This is the plaintiff, Tabitha Krim. She says she gave the defendant money to redo her kitchen and never saw him again. That's right. Turns out the defendant's nothing more than a scam artist who preys on unsuspecting women, steals their money, and thinks they can get away with it. Here she is now to show him she's going to do everything within her legal rights to get her money back in a suing for $2,400, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, Richard. He says he's just a salesman who works on commission, and he sold the plaintiff a kitchen. Unfortunately, the company he used to work for seems to have gone out of business and didn't complete the plaintiff's job. Well, he's sorry, but the plaintiff's suing the wrong person because she made the check out to the company and they took her money, not him. He's accused of cashing and dashing. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $680 for lost wages and unpaid work.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Tabitha Krim?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you are suing Richard. You've asked us to refer to you only by your first name, so we'll respect that. Of B Construction for $2,400 that you paid him for kitchen cabinets that you never received. You are counterclaiming against her $680 for measuring her cabinets and 2 days of missed work to come to court. Okay, tell me what is going on.
In December of 2012, I got a call from the defendant, and I previously had purchased some windows from hometown, and the defendant told me that the company had gone out of business and he had purchased it, and how was my windows? I said, my windows are fine. He said, do you need any other work done? I said, what kind of work do you do? Yes, I need a kitchen. And we discussed that he would give me, new cabinets, do a new kitchen for me. And he also said, he would do my floor. He would do the floor for free. I had a door to my kitchen trash closet, which was down. And he told me he would put that door up for me. He said, have you ever heard of Bob Vila? I said, yes, I've heard of Bob Vila. He said, well, he says he can do that. I can do that door with chewing gum and a toothpick.
Okay.
Well, anyway.
Do you enter into a contract with him?
Yes, ma'am, and I have the contract right here.
May I see it?
Yes, ma'am. He was going to do my kitchen cabinets, my countertops, and the floor, and we agreed upon a price of $6,400. And he asked for a third of that down. His brother Jimmy was the financial person.
Jimmy?
No.
Okay.
Well, anyway, Jimmy was the financial person that I discussed the price with. We came up, Richard, the defendant in agreement, for $6,400 for the cabinets. I told him the cabinets I wanted were at a store by the name of Bargain Outlet. Described the cabinets that I wanted. Yes, we'll get them. Well, that didn't happen.
What did happen? You gave him $200 that day, and then you gave him another $200.
I gave him another $200. I gave him $400 cash.
And then a few months later, you gave him $2,000.
I gave him $2,000.
So you gave him a total of $2,400.
$2,400, and I haven't seen any cabinets.
Why haven't you seen cabinets, though?
Because Richard didn't bring them.
Okay, but when you called him, he wouldn't answer your calls, or how did?
I called, and I called Jimmy, the number you will see on the contract there, the cell number. They told me that this number was no longer in service. When I got in touch with the defendant, he told me Jimmy had Alzheimer's and was in the hospital. Alzheimer's? In the hospital? Yes, he can't talk to you. You need to talk to me. I said, well, Richard, when are you going to come out and do my cabinets? Well, we're working on a job up in Galion, Ohio, and as soon as we finish, I'll be out there. Oh, okay. Well, he didn't do that.
All right. What's going on?
Okay. My brother, also is in this industry. All right. So we were calling through some of my old hometown contracts, all right, to basically get new contracts, new business. I said, here's some of my old customers. Go ahead and call through them. And
Where's your brother right now?
He didn't make it here.
Why?
He doesn't have an ID to get on the plane.
Go on.
Okay. My brother goes there, not me, and sells her a kitchen. All right. And his name's on that contract. I wasn't even there.
Where's his name on this contract?
I'd have to see it, but it should be on there. That's not my handwriting.
I don't know if this is your handwriting or not. I don't know if this is your contract or not. I have no idea.
Salesman.
What's it say? Salesman what?
Jim.
Okay.
J-I-M.
Okay. Go on.
All right. He sold her that day a kitchen. All right. Apparently, she gave him $200 that day. I was not there. I was no part of that whatsoever. Okay. I was not at her house. I didn't sell her a kitchen. Okay. My brother comes back. He says, I have a kitchen job. Do you want to install it and get this job done? I've done quite a few installations for my brother. I said, that's fine.
I'm not understanding that. Your brother's in this business, and what is the name of his business?
He works for 4 different companies depending on what he sells. We sell anything from gutters, roofing, siding.
Well, I care about this case. When it's a kitchen, I'm not sure what you're saying. Who's B Construction?
That's a company that my brother and another individual in Columbus, Ohio own. They hired me to go do that physical work on her property.
So then what occurs?
I go to her house.
Yeah,
okay.
you go to her house.
The countertops, I'm measuring them up. I'm fixing her door. So I was there 2.5, 3 hours. I didn't use bubble gum. I actually used toothpicks, all right, and glue to fix her door.
No, he used chewing gum.
Okay, no,
Well,
don't just yell out when you disagree. You're going to disagree with a lot of what he says.
I use toothpicks. And
I have nothing
okay,
against
I'm
it.
just
I
saying.
walk Bob Vila too, okay? If it works, it works. I have no...
It works. For people at home, it does work. Okay, so I fix her door, okay? I get all of her countertops measured. She says, I'm going to give the company another $200 payment, all right? And she did hand me $100, $200.
What'd you do with it?
I gave it to my brother. In the meanwhile, I'm asking her some questions about when should I order these cabinets, because I see it's a cash job. I've been doing this 25 years. I'm wondering, should I go ahead and order these countertops? I'm just basically talking to her. She tells me to mind my own business. That's between me and my brother.
That's
between her and Jim. Her and Jim. I said, well, are you getting the bank loan? Are you paying cash when we're done? Completion?
I'm sorry, can I just ask, who got sued here? Just you or you and Jim?
Just me.
Okay, so go on.
So I go back to my brother. I said, here's the measurements. Okay, what do you want me to do with them? He said, just give them to me. When I'm ready to order them, we'll go look.
According to you, the person who came to you and filled out this contract was Jim or him?
He and Jim
Together
came to my house. All of this, what he's gibbering off now, no, ma'am, that's not true.
So now the $2,000 payment comes in February, and who accepts that?
My brother.
What account did it go into?
I don't know. Corporate account, I'm sure. Their account, B Construction. She knows who she wrote the check to. I don't know.
He's...
Are you B Construction?
No.
Who are you?
Yeah.
I'm an independent contractor. I'm for hire.
What do you have to do with B Construction?
I work for him.
Why won't they either give her money? I mean, this is your brother is what
Well,
you're talking about. So before you end up on people's court of all places, I got to imagine that you and your brother talked about this.
Correct.
Like, how come the lady doesn't have a kitchen or her money back?
I tried to communicate with her, okay, and my brother when exactly I could go ahead and order these, all right? And then when I talked to her, it was all about the money.
So what did your brother say to you? That what? She didn't have the money and...
She was trying to buy here, pay here, more or less, the cabinets.
But then, okay, and so he was going to what? He's going to keep the money? What is it you're saying?
I can't really, I can speak for him, but I didn't ask him that exact question.
What did you ask?
I asked him basically, when I asked him over 10 times when I could install the job. I didn't have no work. I had already measured the job. I wanted to put her cabinets in. Me and Alan here, we'd like to do the job when we get back.
I want to believe that.
Right, we get paid to work.
The thing is that if I have I kind of think that if you wanted to do the job, you would have.
Well,
And
that's
the
not
lady you still want a kitchen. You got the money for it? You got the dough?
Yes.
Okay, and you want a kitchen, right?
And I want my money that I gave him. That's what I'm here
Why?
for.
Okay, out of
I want
curiosity,
my money.
and why he claims that his brother's the one who did it. It's his brother's company. It's,
Because he's lying.
Okay, and how do
That's
you know
why.
he's lying?
How do I know he's lying? Because he came with his brother all but one time. He and his brother sat down in my kitchen, in my family room.
And he's in charge? He's
talked,
large and in charge?
He told me, I own B Construction.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Does it sound fishy that the guy said, oh, it's not me that made the contract, it's my brother?
Very fishy.
Is it possible that two brothers are not working at all together and one brother's making the deal and the other brother's just hired by the guy?
I doubt it. No, I don't think so.
Okay, 0 to 100, 100 being you're certain that it's a scam. Where are you? 0 to 100. 110? Okay, I got you. Going inside the courtroom.
Does your brother have Alzheimer's?
My brother has brain damage right now.
Okay.
He's been diagnosed, and he can't remember more than 3 to 4 days.
Okay, I'm
My
sorry to
brother
hear
has
that.
made mistakes. We're not saying that this is a perfect.
Let me
I want to
just-
do the work. Still, we want to do it.
Yeah, well then do it. I don't believe that because
Okay.
it's not done. And I got to tell you what concerns me here,
Okay.
and that's making me very perplexed. And I don't
Okay.
get perplexed very often. You tell me that you have nothing to do with B Construction, but the number that is pre-printed on the contract that you divorce yourself from and claim you have nothing to do with is the exact number that you gave to the courthouse as your number. And
Correct.
that's the number that, how is that you have nothing to do with that corporation?
Well, my brother still has the funds.
You tell me that you have nothing to do with B Construction, but we do a little research here. And when I research the Secretary of State records for businesses in the state of Ohio,
Correct.
I see that you got a little something to do with a couple of corporations.
Correct.
When I say B Construction, it's BEE like a bumblebee, right? I see that you have something to do as being the.
I owned a company called B Improvement.
Why don't we get a little forthright now? You're going to get forthright with me?
No,
Or-
I'm trying to answer your question.
So you're BEE Improvement, and you're also BEE Improve It. And you're also the guy who's all over her house, but you got nothing to do with BEE Construction.
Well, I work there. I'm not saying I don't.
If you're just an employee, why are you counterclaiming against her for your time in measuring the thing? Wouldn't you have gotten paid for your time in measuring the thing from that
I
corporation?
would have got totally paid if the job would have went through.
You know what? You make me all kinds of uncomfortable.
That's fine, ma'am. You make me uncomfortable as well.
Good. I'm glad. Because you know what I think? I think you're a crook.
Oh.
I think you and your brother are crooks. I think that the reason that your brother's not here is because you were hoping that you could do this whole shady, slimy thing on your own without him. I think it's disgusting that I ended up having to bring out the Department of... I kept saying, he's going to mention it. He's going to mention the confusion between the company. None of that happens. I sit here, I ponder. I'm just an employee. I don't know why she's suing me. I don't know why she's suing me, but you're all over everything, including that the number on the contract is your number and your contact for this lawsuit. So yeah, I'm uncomfortable, and when I'm uncomfortable, you're uncomfortable, because that's how this works. So you know what? Pay the lady back the money you ripped her off of.
Yes, ma'am.
$2,400 verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so the defendant, Richard, come on in. How is what we saw in the courtroom not the reality of the situation? Should it have not?
Confusion between the salesman and the consumer.
You going to have a word with Jimmy?
Yes, very much so.
What are you going to say to him?
I took a bullet for you.
All right. Okay, right down this way.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and so you're next. Come on in here. What'd you see happen in there?
Well, I saw a show off and lies happened in there, but I'm just thankful to the judge that she gave me what I am due, my money. That's all I want is my $2,400.
How'd you get caught in this thing in the first place?
A telephone call. I won't answer no more. a telephone
It was a
call.
cold call right out of the blue.
Well, he said he owned B Construction.
He called you right out of the clear blue sky.
He called me out of the clear blue sky. That's what he did.
And
I didn't
sold
call
you.
him.
And sold you.
Well,
All right.
but I'm just glad I got my money.
Harvey?
That's what I wanted.
Here's the deal. This was clearly a shell game. When there are these numerous corporations, at a point, the judge can look beyond the corporations and say, look, you are taking this person for a ride. And that clearly was the case here. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.